Welcome to Board Game Binge, the place where we bring you bite-sized, bingeable board game content from across the industry. I'm your host, James Staley, and in this episode, we're chatting with Simon Filice from One Card Maze. Simon's third season of One Card Maze, recently funded on Kickstarter. Simon, welcome to the binge. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that awesome intro.
I'm so excited to have you on here for a couple reasons. We're gonna get into One Card Maze in a second because I think it's such a cool concept. But I mean, I'm talking to you from Ethiopia. This is a first on the podcast. I've yet to talk to
Good.
somebody from Ethiopia. Like, you're literally in Ethiopia right now.
Yeah.
What brings you to Ethiopia? Did you live in Ethiopia? I know you were in Canada for a little while. Like, well, give me what's going on here?
It's a great question. So I'm a teacher. I'm a middle school music teacher, and I'm so lucky because I get to just have fun all day. And so I teach overseas. So my wife and I teach in Ethiopia now. We taught in Dubai before this
Oh, wow.
for the last 2 years, and then we taught in New Zealand before that, and that's where I met my co-designer for One Card Maze and started the whole thing. And we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so I go home to Canada in the summers and the Christmases actually. I still have some family there, and yeah, it's home. So yeah, a little bit of both.
So is it like English as a second language you're teaching, or like what are you teaching in these different countries?
That's a great question. It's an American school, so I'm at it's called the International Community School of Addis Ababa, but it's actually just an American school. So all our students are American Canadians. The really cool school, the thing with this school though is a lot of them work. A lot of their parents work for the EU or the African Union or NGOs and stuff like that. So really interesting kids. Yeah, it is as an American international school.
That's great. How did you get into that? I mean, that's so fascinating.
It's a good question, but a simple answer. My parents did it. So I was born in Hong Kong because they taught in Hong Kong. Then I
Okay.
moved to Saudi Arabia because they taught there. Then Singapore, and I graduated from Singapore American School. So the exact same thing as my students. I just wanted to do it as well.
Oh my gosh. So when
Yeah.
you're seeing all these countries around the world, do you make a point of trying to like check out like the local board game shops and board game stores and things like this? Like, do you try to get like a almost like a global perspective of these different cultures and how they interact with the board game industry?
I mean, so definitely the answer is definitely, but it doesn't always happen all the time. So
Sure.
I'll give you some examples. Like New Zealand was awesome. We had this really serious board game community. They would do a weekend away at a cottage, and they would like it would just be playing board games and playing prototypes all weekend. It was amazing. So that yeah, that's in New Zealand, but that was like 20, 30 odd guys.
Yeah.
Then in Dubai, it was way bigger, but it wasn't designers. They could easily get 40 to 50 people in a hotel lobby every Saturday playing board games from I don't know, so we started like 11 o'clock to midnight every Saturday.
Oh
They
wow.
also do Tuesdays at another restaurant. So yeah, it's different. And then here, there's not much. I'm slowly starting. I know the two guys who sell board games, and so I'm slowly trying to make a community here, because it's interesting, right? It's I have the community with the teacher, my teacher friends,
Yeah.
and then also there's a local group that they're trying to start with. And like they're starting with they're starting with like Uno and Monopoly Go was too much for that group because they're just starting, right? So
Wow.
it's very interesting. Yeah.
Back to the
Yeah.
basics for sure.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And then how long is this stint going to be? Like, how long are you going to be in Ethiopia for? Is it like a fixed amount of time or?
Yeah, so international teaching gigs always start with 2 years,
Okay.
and then it's 1 year contracts from there. So my parents have been on 25 1 year contracts in Singapore. Yeah, and that's just how it goes. Yeah, so I mean, so we hope to stay in Ethiopia for a really long time. We really like it, and the school's great. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. And then so you were back in
Cool.
Canada for a little bit just recently. Was that just like an extended holiday stay, or what brought you back to Canada?
It's summers. I'm a teacher, so I'm so lucky. People are gonna hate me on this, but I'm lucky. I get to just enjoy my summers wherever. So we love to go back and spend time with our family. And Southern Ontario is the best summers in the world, right? The weather's great,
It
sun's
is.
great. So
It's been we
yeah,
get a little bit of a heat wave recently, but
yeah,
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 it's we've been spoiled. We had an amazing spring going into
totally.
the summer, and
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for better weather, right? And
And it's
definitely,
sometimes cool. Yeah, those nice hot cool days. Like it's a really special place. So
literally two
yeah.
weeks ago, you had to put like almost like a spring
Yeah,
jacket on. I found because it was a little cool in the evenings, right? So
I agree.
yeah, and as you get to the fall, it'll cool down
Yeah.
more and so forth. So
Yeah.
and then so you
Yeah.
said your one card maze co is it your co designer that
You're
worked on that with
correct.
you?
Yeah.
So who is that? Who's the co
So
designer?
that's Andrew Dobson. He's on here too. I'm trying to
Okay,
show on the screen.
sure.
He's a friend of mine from New Zealand. We met in that awesome community of designers in New Zealand. And yeah, and so he's actually the one who originally came up with One Card Maze for we'll get into this now
Sure.
for a BGG competition. So it was like a one card competition, which those competitions are awesome. Actually, I've done a few of them, and they're just so helpful. They're so useful.
Yeah.
And so he did it for a one card competition, and then I wrote him because we were still in touch, and I just said I love this idea. Can we do this together? And I've pushed it in different ways. So I've made like a boss maze now that you have to like fight a boss in the maze.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other things that we've kind of like done now in
Oh,
our
it's
season three.
such a
So yeah,
cool idea.
yeah.
And
Thank
then,
you.
how long had you been board gaming? Like, is this something that you've been like since you're younger? Were you board gaming, or is it something more recent, like when you first became a student, or when did you get into kind of like the hobby, so to speak?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I always ask my parents because my mom hates board games and like will rarely play board games with me.
Yeah.
But I blame it on them because we did play board games as kids. I think I started in university, so I made it's a game called Fave Game. It's like a choose your favorite things or choose your friends' favorite things. Who knows each other best at the table kind of
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
So simple, just like party game. Yeah, get to know each other game. And I started that in university. And I just made it for my friends, right? My housemates.
Yeah.
And then from there, went to New Zealand for teacher college, and then found that amazing community. So I always attribute it to that. That community is such a thriving. They meet weekly to do prototype stuff too. Like that's when people ask, "How do you do it? What do you do?" Find a community, even if it's online or wherever. They were pivotal in my
So
journey.
that
Yeah.
bug of designing that bit you early, then I guess. So when you're a student is when you actually started kind of tinkering with your own designs and things like this.
Yeah, so I did a communications and web design degree in university. So I've
Mm,
always been into design. I'm like more web design and
sure.
digital design, but yeah, just the general design. I mean, and I think all board gamers like made up their own rules. If you ask my sister, she'll tell you I always made up my own rules and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah, you always have the homebrew, right? I think that usually that's where it
of
starts
course.
actually for a lot of
I think
people.
so. I
Yeah,
agree.
you do your Monopoly, or I always tell the story of Risk. I used to play with my buddy, and you can upgrade your individual armies to get like that little. It's like a star shape or whatever. That was the 10, right? It was the
Yeah.
10 armies, and
Mhm.
we had it that if you had 10 of those, we had the old 45 records. Those remember those little plastic yellow things
Yes.
that would snap in between so it fit on your record player, but it was like a swirl. So we that was a nuke. So 10 of those would turn into a
Cool.
nuke, and we could you could actually nuke a country, and then
You
no one could
just
put their
nuke
armies
something.
there for like 10 turns, whatever. So again, that's where it starts, right? Is taking something
That's
that exists,
awesome.
homebrewing,
Totally.
and even if you think of like often you're talking to in some of these developer, I'm sure you get this as well. Some of these developer nights you're in, and sometimes you get to have like guest lectures from people, or if you're even reading books on board game design. Often, what they will say is take a game that you like
Mm.
and figure out how you could change it or how you can make it different. And that's
Mm.
usually a good place to start to try to kind of nurture those kind of design skills, I guess, for lack of a better word, right? And kind of awaken them.
Yeah.
And then you'll find as you have different games and different combinations and permutations from all these different games around you, then you make something that's new from that. And I think if you look at the hobby right now, for the most part, is built on the games that came before it, right? Like
Of
we're
course.
standing on each other's
Totally.
shoulders, so to speak.
Of course.
So I when someone sees one of our games, they're like, "Wow, that was a lot of fun." It's like I can give you 5 games that inspired me in the creation of that
Of
one. I took a little
course.
snippet from here, a little bit of snippet there, and then you add your own little pixie dust on top of that to kind of come up with that new thing, right? So
Totally. I'm a music teacher, so that's exactly the same, right? With making your own music.
yeah,
It's you can't just say you came up with this out of nowhere. And actually, that wouldn't even be possible, right? So it's what music you were influenced by, what music you listened to, your parents listened to, and what instruments you play too, right? So
Yeah.
it's so influential. I totally agree. That's really cool.
That's a great analogy. I was talking, was a reading or talking to somebody about this? I can't remember. It was a while back. But the note on that was around songwriting. And they said if you want to start learning how to songwrite,
Nice.
take a song and strip out the audio track, right? So you just have the background music and write your own
Okay.
lyrics to that song.
Hmm.
And in some cases, you can even write your own melody because your melody may be different than the actual background track.
Totally.
And that's a good way to start with even songwriting, right? And coming
I
up
think I'm
with
going to
something
steal
that's
that for
not.
my class.
Yes,
That's a really
right.
good idea.
So,
It's a really like it's really easy and
yeah,
it's not scary, right? Like all these things are scary. I taught board game design in Dubai actually. I was really lucky to do that for a class.
yeah.
And same thing, like people or the kids thought it was so scary at first, but it was same thing. Like think of the games you play at home, think of the games you play on your phone. Let's just get that on paper somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be it too. Take an app. Take your favorite
Yeah.
game you play on your phone, and what would that look like if it was a board game? And can you simplify
Yeah.
it? And can you make it easier? Where you can have
Yeah.
multiplayer and so forth, and it just lets you start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And kind of build from
That's
there.
cool.
So then with the one card maze, so with your design partner, you say, okay, let's work on this together. This is something we think it can build.
Yeah.
Now, did you bring in kind of the business side, or what did you mean to them when you said let's work on this together?
That's a good question.
Like,
So, I mean, I first off, I wanted to like really just clean up the design. So, I would say that I am more of a developer, you've said you're similar. You develop some games too. So,
sure.
yeah, I like to get a concept and then go from there. So, it's simple things like I'll show it on the screen. Like, there are flip symbols and there's rotate symbols, and it's just like playtesting those, trying to figure out what makes the most sense with those. I mean, a lot of the thinking was the art as well. So he just had this kind of like bare bones black and white card that was still
Mm.
the maze, and it's still one of our hardest mazes. But yeah, it was just kind of developing the idea further. Then um, I developed boss mazes. So again, I'm showing on the screen. There's a boss in the middle, and so instead of an exit in this maze, you don't exit this maze. You have to attack a boss. So you have to come in one direction, then you have to leave and come in a second direction, and then leave and come in a third or fourth direction. Yeah, so it's developing like different ideas. I just think the one, like you said, the one card maze idea is so genius. There's so much we could do. I've made a portal maze and then a waypoints maze, so you have to pick up coins before you can exit. And then this year, we've done multi-card maze, so all 18 mazes will connect. And
Yeah.
so you start from the first one, and you kind of choose your own adventure through to get to the final boss or final maze.
So let's
Yeah.
back. I want to back up
Yeah, sorry, I know I said a
no,
lot
no, no,
there.
it's all good. But for people that don't know the one card
Yes,
maze,
let's do it.
let's go back to the basics of like what is it, right? And then
Yeah.
how does somebody actually play the maze? Like how does it work? Can you and try to use descriptive language because we have a lot of most of
Yeah.
our listeners are audio based.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
does it work?
Yeah, so we start with saying it's a maze all in one card, and you rotate the card or flip the card to get to the exit. So you'll start at the start, but then you'll see like an exit. Sorry, you'll see a door, and so you can go through the door if the arrow is pointing up. So that's the kind of mind-boggly thing, or the Rubik's Cube part of this is the arrows need to be pointing up to go through a door. So you can go through the door if the arrow is pointing up, and then you'll find rotates, which will let you rotate the whole card. And then you'll find flips on the side of the card, which lets you flip all the way around the card.
Mm.
And that's the cool part because once you flip around the card, the arrows aren't up anymore. They're down and they're to the side, and it changes every time you flip it or you rotate it. And so that's it. You keep flipping and rotating until you find the exit.
And now,
That's the
do
the
you have
main
like a
concept.
meeple, or is there like a? Do you have an actual person you put on the card to move it, or using your finger, or like
Just
how?
trace with your finger. Good question.
Okay.
So that's the nice thing about it is it's replayable because you don't draw on it, you don't destroy it. You just trace with your finger. And yeah, so you're just tracing around with your finger like that. Yeah.
And is there one solution per card? Or like is it almost like a puzzle where you have to solve it, or can it change every time you play?
So there are so many routes. So I mean, like it's a funny question. This is why we're not on BGG. So I'd love to talk to you about this. They haven't put us on BGG because they said it's not a game and it's solvable, which I totally understand, and I hear that. But there are so many ways to do it. Like There is like a fastest way, and on our Facebook group and our Facebook community, we do like who can find the fastest way in each of the mazes.
Yeah.
It's a really fun thing. But then there's like long ways, or there's ways to like pick up gems. So we have gems in the new one, and so there are quite a different number of ways to do it. Also, I think the best way to do it is just wander. So you just kind of like go and rotate and flip and rotate and flip and just kind of wander around, and then you'll find it. My students like it as like a mindfulness exercise.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's I think that's the game part for me is it feels just kind of like an adventure where you're wandering through a dungeon. You can like really work it out, like look on the other side while you're on this side and figure out how to flip it. And many of the pros do that. But yeah. So yeah, there are multiple ways to go through.
And what's the length of time like typically for someone
Uh,
to solve one of these?
like 30 seconds to
Mm.
5 minutes. At the two conventions that I just went to in the UK and Edmonton, we said if you can do one of our hardest mazes in under a minute, we'll give you a free wallet. And in the UK, there was a number of people. I think we gave away 15 on each day or something like that. In Edmonton, it was more like families who came by. So we had like 10 total kind of people who could do it. So, but some people can do it really, really fast.
And then, so I just want to make sure it's clear. So if when people are,
Yeah,
I mean, the campaign's done, and congrats on the campaign. I think you guys did.
thank you.
I'll put it in Canadian dollars. I think it was like $75,000 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, yeah.
76, almost $77,000, which
Yeah.
is huge for 18 cards.
Yeah, thank you. I
Congrats,
know.
man.
For a one card small wallet, right?
Yeah,
Like a
that's
little 18 card
yeah.
game. Yeah,
So there's 18 cards. So each card is a maze, but there's 18 mazes
exactly.
in the wall. It's like the old license wallets you would have, right? Those little
Yeah,
vinyl
yeah.
kind of things you put them
Oh
in.
yeah, license wallets. I mean,
Yeah,
we call them button shy wallets because button shy is
like
the one
button
that made
shot
it
games
famous,
exactly
right?
is the other one too.
Button
Yep.
shy wallets, and he came over to my booth and we chatted about it too. So yeah, he's definitely made wallets games a thing, but I think they need to be way more. My next game, my next personal game on my own is also a wallet game because I just think 18 cards and travel games are the best.
And then it's the. I imagine you ship these straight from China, do you?
Well, we ship them to Zatu, who is a fulfillment team in the UK, and they send it out. They also warehouse it for us, which is great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
like, as I'm looking at these mazes, I'm just thinking in my head, like, how, like, what is the process that they go through to build a maze that definitely has a solution? Like, do you start in the center and work your way out? Like, how do you and your partner build these?
Well, so we do them totally differently, and we even show who's made each maze on our website, and you can see that. So, and I feel you can really tell a difference because mine is exactly what you said. I start at start, and I just kind of draw around, and I will turn and flip, and I will actually go through like a route that I want. Then I'll kind of like add some dead ends and some red herrings and
Sure.
stuff like that onto that. But that's mine is very straightforward. Like I find them very straightforward when I do them. Andrew does them totally oppositely. He's an engineer, so his brain works differently than mine. He really like works it all in his head first and then puts it down on paper and kind of like, yeah, I don't actually know, but combines it in a really like methodical way. Mine is just on a route. I like to flip this way and rotate that way and yeah, head around.
And then
Yeah,
how does the two player, like, because on your most recent campaign you had this kind of flank flip set. Talk to us about that, because that seems like it's a little
sure.
bit of a adjacency from kind of the traditional
Yeah.
model you had. So what is that? How does that work?
Yeah, so that's where I want to take the game. Like it's so awesome that there's this maze that can be on a card, but so much more can be on that. Actually, I'm gonna take a side step, but I'll come back to flank flip in a second.
Sure.
How we came up with this idea was we've been doing a bunch of collabs with other game designers, and so please let me know when your next game comes out.
Yeah.
We draw a maze, and then we send it to you or a designer, and they will make it. They will illustrate it in their art style, and so it's been so cool. So we have like Robo Rescue mazes, and we have Cinderella at Midnight mazes, and so they're done in that style, which is beautiful and amazing in its own right.
Mm.
But it's also a one card maze. I wanted to take it a step further where that game could also be there. That card could also be used in a different game. So Flank Flip is a 9 or 16 card like tic-tac-toe kind of game. It's not really tic-tac-toe game. And so you lay them all out. So just let's say like it's laid out in a 3 by 3 grid,
Yep.
and you'll be X's and I'll be O's. and they have little arrows or attacks on them. And if the arrow is pointing at an opponent, it flips over that card to my side. So it would flip over your X to O's.
Mm.
And the point of the game is to get all 9 cards to be on your side. So O's for me and X's for you. And so those are interesting because they look very similar. They're all yellow or they're all green, but they're all different one card mazes. They're all unique. They're actually all different difficulties too, from easy to or novice to medium. And but you can also play a separate game. So I just wanted to like push it. How much game can we put in this little wallet? Was the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost like the
Yeah.
classic like Reversi or Othello is kind of the vibe there, right? Where you're
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be kind of abstracty checkers-ish. Um, yeah.
and then the
Someone
eclectic
also
set.
said,
What is the eclectic set?
yeah. Well, let's go through them. So Eclectic was the first one. It was just a PMP. So season one, and I
Mm.
recommend this for all beginning designers. It was just print to play. That was it. We raised, I think, $1,000, 300 backers. It was just to see if people wanted the game because it is different, right?
Yeah.
When people come into a convention, I'm always like, this is not really your traditional game. I have to kind of explain it to you. And like you said, it's 18 of different games, but the same game. Anyways, so that was the first one. That was just the eclectic. It was supposed to be eclectic art and style, and just to kind of see what people liked. People obviously liked it, so we went with season two. Season two is when we actually made the wallets, and so we made the eclectic set into a wallet. So it's 18 cards, 18 like poker cards in a plastic wallet. Then we realized it was actually too hard, so then we came up with the fledgling set.
Mm.
The fledgling set is actually the easiest difficulty, so they're like novice and easy mazes. All different art, same kind of thing, but just easy mazes. And then I really wanted to just kind of show what we can do with one card maze, so we did a boss set. These are 18 boss mazes, so they're all boss mazes. There's no exit on any of them, except for the rules, and you have to attack a boss. And yeah, the cool thing with this too is this is the first time we worked with a different artist. So this is an artist called Mato from I just forgot where he's from, Croatia,
Hmm.
and they're just beautiful pieces of art. And even the themes are so cool too. So like there's like a boxing theme or a football theme, or yeah, like a Godzilla theme. And then finally, that we had four in season four wallets in season four. This is the final one was the promos and exclusives. This was all of the promo stuff that we gave away for free. There we have some Kickstarter exclusive mazes as well, and then some extra stuff that I wanted to show off, some fun stuff. So like the portal mazes where you can kind of jump around on the same side, and a waypoint maze where you have to pick up coins before you get to the exit.
Oh, that's cool. And
Yeah,
then
thanks.
with your the boss set, then are you actually defeating bosses?
Yeah, yeah. So you are fighting a boss. So you have to come into his lair, a boss's lair, in one direction. So say like in up, the arrow will be pointing up on a
Okay.
sword. Then you'll leave and you'll come, and the arrow will be pointing to the side. And then you'll leave and the arrow will be pointing to the bottom. And so you have to come in that order. And so the fun part is if you ever come in the wrong order, the boss hits you. And so it's kind of like a boss battle back and forth. So you need to hit the boss in the right order. In yeah.
And then how do you track this? Is there like hit points or something you mark on the card? Or
I mean, again, it's we wanted to keep it one card, one simple thing. So it's not hit points. There are dots above the swords. So
mm,
there's a one dot above the first sword, a two dots above the second sword, three dots above the third sword. It's only three to four directions, and they're quite short. Those take again like 5 to 7 minutes, so you don't really forget where you are. You kind of know, okay, I'm on the first attack or I'm on the second attack, and so on and so forth. Yeah,
and then Cthulhu. Was
yeah.
was there any licensing involved in that at all? I guess it's just kind of like a general IP, isn't it?
Well, do you know? That's why I did it. It's free. Oh, what's that called? It's free because it's 100 years old. What's
Yeah,
that called?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
I know what you mean.
it's not the word's not free.
Yeah, it's a licensing, but
General,
general license or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, or like public domain, something like
Public
that.
domain. There you
Public
go.
domain
Public domain.
because
Yeah.
it's 100 years old. I mean, everyone used Cthulhu for that reason.
Oh yeah.
It just came public domain like 2014 or something, and that's when it blew up. And then I also love Cthulhu. I love Cthulhu. I've read a lot of the H.P. Lovecraft books.
Oh, it's amazing.
But yeah, so this season was multi-card maze, flank flip, and Hand of Cthulhu. I'll come to Hand of Cthulhu in a second because it's not really one card maze.
Hmm.
Let me just talk about multi-card maze in it for a second. So multi-card maze, like I said, you start at maze one, and then you choose. So on maze one, there's three exits. So that's again the cool part. I kind of like I'm sure you're gonna ask like how do you remember? You just kind of go, which is fun. So you start at maze one, and then I'll just read it to you. So on maze one, it'll say go to exit. Here it says go to exit 72A, or you can go to 73A, or you can go to 76A. And so once you get there, you're on to the next maze, which brings you to another maze, which brings you to
So it's
another
like a
maze,
choose your own
and you're trying to
adventure.
get exactly. That's the
Yeah,
point. I wanted to make it like a choose your own adventure
that's
to get
cool.
to the final boss. Yeah, yeah. And that's multi-card maze.
And
Yeah.
BGA won't let you guys list this because they say it's not.
So no, at BGG,
Oh,
Board Game
BGJ, yeah,
Geek,
yeah, Board Game Geek. Sorry, yeah,
won't let us list it because it's not a game. They have listed Flank Flip. I think if I try really hard, they might list multi-card maze. That one, that's so gamey. Like it's not there isn't really a way to solve it because we've given a map and there you can go four different ways or five different kind of main ways
yeah.
to get to the exit through all these different cards. So I agree. I think it's a little and all of our fans think so too because there's other mazes on BGG. There's Mazescape, which is an awesome game.
Yeah.
There's another maze game too.
Exit,
Yeah.
which is like an
Yeah, yeah.
escape room in a
True.
box,
It's
right?
just in this,
Like,
and that would actually destroy too. You
yeah,
can't even play it a second time.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. That's kind of yeah. I'd be pushing back on that. When you talk
We have, but we'll see.
when you talk
Sorry.
about the fan base, so you just finished season three. Is there so is that kind of the plan to keep doing seasons? Is that going to be the model going
Yeah,
forward? Like what one
that
season a
was the
year or
idea. So we were gonna go with one season a year. This season felt a little fast, and I don't know if we got enough out, kind of thing, which is fine. Like I think I'm just trying to compare it. Season two, we had four wallets. This season, we also have three wallets in Hand of Cthulhu.
yeah
So yeah, like I'm not really sure. We'll feel it out. I do want to do seasons though because I love Marvel United. If you can see in my
yeah
background, Marvel United's like top two favorite games for me. I just love the idea of like people want more. Like I have people writing me all the time, not so much anymore, but I at the start people were writing me every week or every other week saying like, "Hey, you got any more mazes? Can you send me more mazes?" Now I can just send them to the website and they go get some.
Is there a
Yeah.
thought to do like or maybe you're doing it like a subscription model? Is that kind of the
Oh,
plan?
I mean, tell me what you think. I haven't even thought of that. Like a button
It
shy kind
seems
of
like
does
a
that. Is that
natural
what you
evolution.
mean?
Like yeah, something like this where somebody wants to get the next maze in the series, or as you're saying, you got your fans saying, "Hey, like when's the next thing coming?" It would almost seem like
Yeah,
there would be a natural evolution towards going to a subscription model where somebody just subscribes in every month or kind of like Button Share, one of
that'd
these
be
guys, or every
awesome.
2 months, and they just automatically they're on the list and they're automatically getting their mazes. That could be kind of a neat business model going forward,
That would be really cool. I do have a day job and I'm a teacher, so I have like homework and like other
right?
things. And he and Andrew has two very young kids. So I don't think anytime soon, but I do love the idea. And I mean that is the dream, right? The dream is actually like probably like part-time teaching because I do love
Yeah.
teaching. I love teaching music. And then part-time games would be awesome. So that is the dream in the future.
There's always a danger of becoming the slave to the machine too, right? So
Of
you create
course,
something and then
totally.
that becomes like you can't like you have like you've got now an obligation. So subscription model,
Yeah,
that's the negative side of
exactly.
that too, is now you're constantly having to
Yeah.
churn out content with no rest, right?
Yeah, we're at 100 and like a little bit over 100 mazes now, and that's already taken 3 years or so, right?
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, even that's taken a long time. I think right now we want to just kind of see what other things we can do, and so that's what season four is. Season four, we want to make coasters is the main thing. So like, how cool would that be if you're waiting in a bar for somebody?
That would
Yeah,
be
you can just
cool.
fiddle around with a coaster, right? That's the best one. But I also like the idea of greeting cards. Like I had a bunch of cards I wanted to give to my like students that were leaving or graduating and friends that were graduating or leaving Ethiopia. And I was like, why don't I just have a bunch of these that I could just write, miss you, hope you have a great time, stay in touch. And like it could be a greeting card. So like it would fold, and both sides would be the one card maze, but then it would open and you could write whatever message
Or
you
even a
wanted on the
business
inside kind of
card.
thing.
Like that's the kind of business
We
card
have
that
some
someone
business
keeps, right?
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some businesses have written us for to write to make them a business card, which has been exciting.
Yeah,
And then our business card is obviously a one card maze.
of
At the
course.
convention, people were like, "You had to do this, or we would have told you otherwise." So,
Oh, it's awesome. Where are you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
going from here? Like, what's the plan? Like, is it now? So when's season four? Is that next year? Is that this year? When are you doing season four?
Well, again, I we don't want to rush it. We are doing this part time, or maybe kind of part time.
Yeah.
It does take a year to kind of like make all the mazes, playtest, make the art, find an artist. But even playtest is pretty big, right? Because sometimes the mazes are too easy or too hard because we miss a route or whatever.
Hmm.
And I'm so grateful for our community. We have like 500 people on Facebook that love playtesting all of our mazes. Yeah. So from here, it's just trying new things. So the next thing is uh, coasters, greeting cards, bookmarks. People are really excited about the bookmarks we tried this year.
And did I see you have a
And
campaign for merch coming up too?
yeah. So season
Yeah.
four will hopefully be next year. It'll definitely be next year. Hopefully it'll stay in May.
Yeah.
So I've helped start Micro May with Kickstarter. It's all like small games like can fit in a large pocket kind of thing. And I'd love to stick with May if we can. But yeah. So that's where we're going. And then try new things. I want to keep doing like we haven't done a whole portal maze, a portal wallet, or a whole waypoints wallet. I'd love to try one of those next. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want
Yeah.
to wish you all the best on this.
Thank you.
I think people need to check. So I know your campaign's done, but they can go to, is it onecardmaze.com? Is that your website?
Correct. Yeah.
Onecardmaze.com. I'll put a link in the show notes as well so they can go and check that out.
Thanks.
This is cool. This is such a cool
Thank
concept,
you.
man. I
Thank you so much.
love
I really
these
appreciate it.
episodes where I get to see something novel, and you
Thank
guys
you.
have certainly brought that to the industry. So I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you so much.
And maybe season four will get you back on the pod.
Yeah, okay, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
All right, my friend. You take care. Cheers.
Nice chatting with you. Have a good day.
This has been an episode of the Board Game Binge podcast, hosted by James Staley, produced by James Staley and Mike Bruner, with original music by Nick Smith. If you would like to watch these interviews live, simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, Board Game Binge, and you'll get access to live interviews, giveaways, and interesting board game content from across the industry. I can't wait for you to join us. See you next time.